For years, the world waited for the spark, waited for the mistake, waited for the moment when shadows would turn into flames. Israel and Iran, two nations circling war like predators in the dark. And now, the moment everyone feared is finally here.
It begins quietly. No missiles, no sirens, just silence. But generals know this silence. History knows this silence. This is the silence before a storm. Israeli satellites spot unusual movements near Iranian bases. Iranian radars detect unusual activity in the Mediterranean. Both sides sense it. Both sides prepare. Both sides breathe in the last calm air they may ever know. A cargo ship vanishes in the Arabian Sea. No distress call, no survivors. Just a trace of burned metal floating on waves. Intelligence points to naval mines linked to Iranian militias. Iran denies involvement. Israel calls it an act of war. The world realizes this is no longer a shadow conflict. This is escalation. At 2:17 a.m., the sky above Syria turns white. Explosions ripple through Iranian supply depots. Warplanes vanish into the night before radar can lock onto them. Iranian commanders are killed. Convoys are destroyed. Runways crack open like broken earth. Israel says nothing, but everyone knows who was behind it. Iran promises a response that will shake the ground. The countdown begins. 3 nights later, Iran fires. Not hundreds, thousands. Missiles streak across the night sky. Drones hum like metal swarms. Radars scream warnings across Israel. Cities shut down. Families rush to shelters. The Iron Dome activates. The sky becomes a battlefield of fire and smoke. Interceptions explode mid-air. Shock waves shatter windows. The horizon glows with burning fragments. Israel survives. But the message is clear. This is war. Within hours, Israel responds. F-35 jets slice through the night. Stealth drones enter Iranian airspace. Ballistic missiles launch from submarines hidden underwater. Targets light up across Iran. Radar sites, missile bases, airfields, nuclear facilities. Sirens echo through Iranian cities. Fire fills the sky. Chaos spreads. For the first time in history, the two enemies hit each other openly, directly, and without fear. Hezbollah enters the war. Thousands of rockets rain on northern Israel. Entire towns evacuate. Israel responds with heavy artillery. Southern Lebanon burns. In Yemen, Houthi drones fly toward Israel. In Iraq, militia strike American bases. In Syria, Iranian forces launch counterattacks. The Middle East becomes a battlefield from the Mediterranean to the Arabian Sea. Millions flee. Borders overflow. Hospitals collapse. The war no one wanted is happening everywhere. Iran unleashes its newest weapon, hypersonic missiles. Fast, silent, unstoppable. They race toward Israeli cities faster than sound. Israel's Arrow 3 system intercepts some, but not all. Israeli fighter jets counterstrike. Iran loses radars. Iran loses aircraft. Iran loses communication towers. But Iran's underground bases continue firing. Missiles rise like fire pillars. The sky is no longer blue. It is war. Then, the battlefield changes again. Lights go out in Tehran. Banks freeze. Oil terminals fail. Communication networks collapse. A cyber attack strikes Iran with surgical precision. Moments later, Israel faces its own blow. Hospitals shut down. Water pumps malfunction. Power grids flicker with chaos.
Computers become weapons. Data becomes ammunition. This is not just a physical war. This is a digital apocalypse.
Deep inside Iran, a convoy moves at night, heavily guarded, heavily armed. It carries something important, something Israel cannot allow to survive. At dawn, a series of explosions rip through the desert. Drones strike from every direction. The convoy is reduced to burning metal. Inside the wreckage are nuclear component parts. Israel has sent its message. This war will not end until the threat ends. Oil prices triple. Stock markets crash. Millions lose jobs. Countries ration fuel. Air travel collapses. Nations choose sides. Saudi Arabia leans toward Israel. Russia supports Iran. China calls for strategic patience. Europe begs for peace. The world economy trembles. This war is no longer regional. It is global. Iran attempts a final pressure tactic. Speedboats swarm the Red Sea. Missiles threaten shipping lanes. Global trade halts. The U.S. Navy intervenes. Warships fire. Skies thunder. The sea becomes a war zone. This is no longer just Israel versus Iran. This is world powers colliding in open waters. Inside Israel, the war cabinet gathers. Inside Iran, generals argue. Both sides see the truth. They can continue or they can destroy everything. If Israel hits Iran's nuclear sites again, Iran will target Israeli cities with everything it has left. If Iran launches a final wave, Israel will respond with overwhelming force. The Middle East hangs between fire and ashes. The guns roar. The missiles fly. The world trembles. Israel and Iran stare into the abyss, knowing one more step, one more strike, one more decision could end nations. This is not just war. It is destiny. A destiny written in fear, fire, and fate. And as the ashes fall, the world asks only one question. When the final shot is fired, what will remain?